You've downloaded Convex Value. Now, how to get started? Well, first we're going to create a workspace from scratch, and then I'll show you some of the templates we have. So you're going to go over here and click on New Workspace, right? So here, right off the bat, you have a pre-made layout. Now, what are you looking at here? This is underlyings, SPX, futures, stocks, indexes, ETFs. Every single underlying that has options, it's ranked here live. Now this is a very useful table because the default is value, price, and change. However, you can add as many columns as you want. For example, flow ratio, which is the volume of calls bought and puts sold divided by calls sold and puts bought. You can also see the deltas of calls sold. You can see just volume, total gammas, and there's really a bunch of them that you can choose. So you select what you want and press go, and there you go. Again, this is all live. Usually I leave it with these parameters, and this is one of the things that I'm always looking at. Then we have this selection of apps that we can load into this pane over here. And we can take this pane and split it, split it, split it, and load one thing here, another thing here, another thing here. Then create a new layout, and we have this here. Let's say we split it this way. So, and we split it like this. Now we have this layout here. We can go back to this one, back to this one. So that's pretty cool. And getting the handle of how these workspaces operate is pretty useful. So what do I usually look at? So the first thing, let's close these panes. So the first thing I usually look at is the flow chart, right? So the flow chart it's a live time series with a variety of different parameters. And my favorite one is, so let's not use command, let's just use the settings. So you click here and price flow ratio. Actually, what I usually like to look at is price deltas, prop 1 and prop 4. These are proprietary algorithms, and press go. Now, something that I want to do here is, so now we're looking, and here you can see deltas, prop 1, prop 4, and there you have these numbers. Now, something that I like to do is when you change, see it says SPY, so it's showing SPY. I change it to the at, right? And now that's going to pull up whatever symbol is here. So I like to look at ES for this, right? Also, when you click here and press this, it just reloads the module. So I usually look at ES and these values of deltas. So for me, when deltas go down and when deltas go in one direction and the props go in another direction, that's usually a symbol to watch out for, right? So this is something that I'm always monitoring for ES. So that's that. Now let's go over here. Second thing that I like to look at is the term structure, right? Now this is set on Apple, but I usually look at the term structure for SPX. And again, you can do this clicking here, SPX, go, and looking at the SPX term structure. And we zoom in. So today it's been much lower than it was yesterday. And you can see up here the dates and the expiries. So this is how I get a gauge on what the volatility situation is. And here, let's load skew, and we can look at, this is the skew for Apple for the first, oops, I'm using commands and I said I wasn't going to do it. So Apple, and what expirations I want to look at, let's look at the first 1 to 10 expiration. And okay, so there's more demand for puts. That's something we see here. Now on this one, let's go skew, but in no commands, just this. So here, Tesla, and again, expirations 1 to 10. So Again, we also have a bigger demand for puts, which is blue, than calls, but not as much as in Apple. And Tesla indeed has been going up even when with a lot of the stocks have been going down. So here I have this other layout, right? I'm looking at the volatility term structure for SPX and the skew for Apple and Tesla. Now I want to go back to the flow ratio, see if anything's going on. All right, nothing interesting. I go back here. Now this layout here, you see how quick it just load? It's because it's loaded like a tab in Chrome. So if I go here and I don't want to have that consuming resources, I just turn it off. See, now it's turned off. And then when I go back here, it reloads it from scratch. But that way you can have as many tabs as you want over here without consuming resources. So let's turn this one off and go back over here. Now let's rename this one to flowchart. Cool. Now let's rename this one to IV skew. Perfect. Now what's a next thing that I want to look at very frequently? So the next thing I like to look at is gamma, VANA, and charm. And the way I like to look at it is I like to split this into 3 different layouts like this, and I'm gonna go to Joy, which is this one right here, and I'm gonna start configuring it. So first of all, I want Joy. I'm gonna use the @ symbol, and what I want to look at is GXOI. Now I want to see net values, and I want it to have no margins. Perfect. And then I click go, and there we go. Now I also want to flip it, and I flip it. So this is showing me, now we can close that. This is showing me gamma exposure by expirations and strikes. And actually I want to add a little range over here. I don't want to see the entire thing. I want to see a small range, right? And again with GXOI, perfect. So this will let me focus on because I'm now going to remember the @ symbol. So here you can do Command Shift @ and here I'm going to put SPX, and that's going to load SPX into this one. Now SPX, that is a lot of expirations. Let's go back here. I just want to look first to 20. Perfect. GXOI. All right, go. Awesome. So now I'm looking at from, strike 4,000 to 4,500. I am looking at gamma. Now what I can do is I can Command Shift, that repopulates the whole command. I can do copy and paste here. And now I want to look at VANA XOI, right? So that's going to give me some VANA measurements. Then here, paste, same command. I could do this configuring it again, but let's just do it this way. And here we're going to have charm XOI. Now I know all of these commands, so obviously this is very easy for me. But if you didn't want to do this and you wanted to start from scratch, no problem. Just click on Joy, then go to click on this cog icon right here. And then you say, okay, I want to look at SPX. I want to look at VANA. No, that's on the other one. We did VANA. So I want to look at charm XOI. I want to flip it, which turns put values into negative. I don't want aggregate. I do want bars. I do want the net value. I don't want some bars. Expirations, I only want 1 through 20. And I want no margin, which removes this margin to save on space. And go. And that's going to give me, now we have charm XOI. So this is something that I'm looking at very frequently. Let's edit this. Let's call it currents. Cool. Now let's make another one. And actually I'm going to turn these. Well, I can go back to this one, see what's happening. Oh, I want to see what's happening on the flowchart. Click here. Oh, now we have XPX, which doesn't have, so we click here, boom, ES. All right, I'm going to turn it off again. Let's go over here. Now, here I want to look at volatility. So I'm going to click here. And what I want to look at is SPX volatility. But okay, I said I wasn't going to use. And I want to compare it to with 1 day. And I don't want to see the whole thing. I just want to see a range of 10. Go. And volatility. Perfect. So this is going to show me how volatility is behaving. Now look at that. That is a change in volatility that we're looking at on today's volatility, a big elevation here. So, all right, that's interesting. I actually want to compare this with volume. So we're going to go over here, click on Joy, and I want to see volume. Actually, volume of buys and sells, Vol BS. And I want to see just the first expiration. I don't want a margin. I want the first expiration, 1. Click go. Here we're looking at Apple, but I actually want to look at SPX. So we change that to SPX. And boom, interesting. All right, let's actually zoom a little bit here. And there we go. So we see some very near out of the money call selling, and some call out of the money call buying, and some near out of the money put selling, and out of the money put buying. Very cool. Now let's change this to vol and volm. Awesome. Now one last thing I want to do is I want to change this, the name of this workspace. So I click here and edit. I want to call it playground. Perfect. And then I am going to save it. Cool. Now I'm looking at this, and I can keep adding tabs, looking at different things, playing with the parameters that are made available to me via this control panel. And then the market is closed. Guess what? I'm just going to close it. Boom. Now, next day, market is open, and I'm going to go here. And guess what? Playground is right there. I clicked here. This is the button that brings it up. Clicked here, and boom, playground, just as we left it. So this allows you to work on a workspace, improve it, and create. Look, these are all of my workspaces, and improve it, and all have your work being saved. And what you can also do is you can get inspiration from the workspace that others create. So we close this, we go over here to the public directory, and here there's a bunch of different that other users have created. So we can check out this one, for example, and there it is. We turn it on, and now we're looking at this example. Look at that, what a beauty. Wow, let's turn it off. Wow. Now this is a pro over here. Let's see this one, flowcharts. Wow. Oh, who is this? This is amazing. And let's see the map. Oh, the map is a cool one. It's going to tell you. And you can really get a lot of inspiration from, wow, this is some crazy workspaces. This is so awesome. And it's really crazy to see, wow, these are amazing. So it's really crazy to see how, people are building this stuff. This is just amazing. And you can search by number. So if you want to search for all of the convex one, you click this here, and these are all of the convex one, and you can just clone them and get inspiration. And what you can do is say, hey, so Swan, I saw this workspace that you made called Untitled Workspace, and I want to know why you're looking at this. Why did you make this workspace? And you go to our Discord and just ask around, and we're going to help you. So That's that. That's a very quick overview. Now let's recap on the very important things, right? So you're when you open the terminal, this is going to be empty. You're going to have nothing here, and that's okay because you haven't created any workspaces. So you can either go here to the public directory and clone it by clicking on the power button here. So clone it, brings it over here, and turn it on. And there we go. You know, some flowcharts, some deltas that, oh, look at this one. This is a very cool example. They're looking at the flow table, and they have four different views of this four tables with different sorting. So that's awesome. And you can go and ask, hey, why did you make this workspace the way you did it? Can you teach me something? And in the Discord, we're gonna help you out. Now, so that's the first thing to recap. You can load a workspace from here. And the second, you can get going by simply clicking on new workspace over here. Just click on any of these apps. When you click on any of them, they're going to work. They have parameters, and they're going to work. So click on one, see what it is. You know, this one strikes by expiration. Go to the cog, play around, do it ag, and then click go. See what happens. Let's do OI. See what happens when you click ag. That's what happened. It aggregates everything. And if you don't know what it does, ask in my Discord, and any one of us is going to say, hey, this is what it does. And you're already playing with convex value, and you can create these workspaces to shape, to really look at what you need to see, to play around, to see options data from a bunch of different angles. This is, you know, all live. This is just beautiful. And I got very emotional right now looking at these beautiful workspace that others are creating. This is amazing. So that's it, and let's get started. Any help you need, I'm there. All right, thank you for watching.